let's talk about the pros and cons of consular processing. Why do people like it? Why do people not like it? Why do people choose it? And why do people choose other things instead of consular processing? Probably the main advantage of consular processing, or one of the main advantages, is that as soon as you get to the US, you are already a resident and you don't have to do any additional steps at that point, which is wonderful. So for people who want to definitely have work authorization as soon as they get to the US and they don't want to have to do more paperwork or do an adjustment of status like they would have to do if they'd gotten a fiancé visa, then they love consular processing for that reason. Another reason that people sometimes like consular processing is if they have their heart set on getting married outside of the United States and they don't want to get a fiancé visa because they don't want to have to do the legal ceremony inside the US, then consular processing might also be a preference for that reason. A lot of the reasons that people, the drawbacks of consular processing is that a lot of times it's slower to get to the point where the immigrant gets to move to the US. It's more time than it would typically be for a fiancé visa, which doesn't seem fair at all. It's like, you're already married, how is this going to take longer than a fiancé visa? But typically it does. Another thing is that you don't get work authorization or anything while it's pending, because obviously you're not even inside the US. I should say, most people who are consular processing are not inside the US, but even if you do live inside the US and you're consular processing, you can't get temporary work authorization while it's pending like you would be able to if you were doing an adjustment of status. So those are definitely some of the drawbacks. And then just the fact that it takes longer because the steps are kind of spread out among different offices, which is, kind of annoying, but it's one of the drawbacks. It's a necessary evil, I guess I would say. So if you don't qualify for a fiancé visa or an adjustment, or if it's important to you to get married outside of the US, or it's important to you to be able to travel and be able to work immediately when you come to the US, then consular processing might be the right option for you for those reasons.